On a very deep and fundamental level, I am ashamed to be alive. This shame fills my every moment. It is the expectation that any time now, someone will confront me with the knowledge of my numerous failures. It is the fear of judgment that shapes every action I take. It is the gnawing, thrashing worm in my gut, the relentless suicidal spirit that whispers in my ear, "Jump." Shame is, for me, the opposite of hope. It takes everything that might be simple and good in my life and twists it into another barb. In Buddhism, there is a metaphor of two arrows. The first arrow is the one that life shoots at you, and in response, as a punishment for letting yourself be hit by the first arrow, you shoot a second at yourself. If this is the case, then my shame is a marksman on the caliber of Robin Hood. It never misses the target. On a regular basis, I walk away from what may appear to have been an ordinary interaction, feeling like a pincushion. Every time I forget, I attempt to make my life into something filled with hope and interest, a vessel of small, beautiful moments. I am rudely awakened by the iron grip of the big other. I remember then that it is not my place in this world to be a creature of hope. The vast majority of my pain is rooted in other people, of whom there is no escape. I recall the things that have been done to me, that I have been forced to participate in against my will, and I am filled only with the longing for oblivion. I imagine that people can see it in my eyes, that I am a wild animal, that I am damaged, and that I am to be taken advantage of. I imagine, and I believe many things that are not real or true, but the pain they inflict upon me is. Yes, in much the same way that depression is the opposite of interest, I find shame to be the opposite of hope. Many of the things I love, the interest I find in my life, deeply involve communion with other people. I have perhaps never been so happy in a pure, unafraid, existential manner as I was some scarce weeks ago, playing and making music with a man who means a great deal to me, more than I am afraid to say. I have rarely, if ever, had a male role model whose first instinct was not to either disregard my existence or to beat the shit out of me. I believe that there is nothing in this world so pure and full of joy as making music with another person. There is humor too, and simple food cooked and eaten together. These are the joys of a shared existence with other people. But I find the pain to vastly outweigh these rare simple pleasures, and the pain is what I remember. It is what lingers and lives with me long after the events have passed. The embarrassment I feel at revealing too much of my true self, the awkwardness that fogs my mind, and the shame that rests on my shoulders, heavier than the world. Shame on me. Shame on me for the unnecessary pain I inflict upon myself, that I feel for others, for those who have no shame. Shame on me for my absurd sensitivity, my fear of the world, my readiness to be discouraged, my self-pity. I have been in a depressive spiral for some time now. These come and they go, and I am aware of the effect they have on my mind's ability to think rationally. But when they are occurring, as I am right now, it feels that things will only continue to get worse. There will never be any improvement. I have vivid dreams about ending my own life, and my waking mind can think of little else, no other permanent solution. Since I was very young, I have always assumed that I would die in such a manner as if it were just a matter of time. I feel as though I should consider it a victory to have made it to 24 years old, to be sober for almost a year now, but it often feels like a prolonging of my sentence on this world. I feel the need for something big to change, to reach out for help, to show the people in my life just how much it costs me to exist. But the amount of shame that I feel at the thought makes me want to vomit. I am trapped behind a one-way mirror, watching everyone else go about their lives. There is perhaps nothing that fills me with such melancholy as watching from afar as other people enjoy life. When I am depressed, melancholy is often the closest to happy that I am able to feel. I want to be sad, to feel anything other than shame. I imagine the girl I once loved was someone that I could never be. I try to imagine myself with a family, but it doesn't scan. I imagine the world after my death, and it makes me sad. I do this quite often. I have considered more than once that perhaps having the ability to get drunk saved my life. I just want out of my head. I want to stop being this person, if only for a little while, and that was something alcohol gave me. I recognize that this is the voice of addiction, trying to convince me to drink again, but I don't have any true desire to do so. It is just another drop of sadness in the ocean of my mind. Some grief, perhaps, for the person I can never be again. But when I remember the shame I felt during my brief periods of sobriety at the thought of all I had done while drunk, I know that I could be much worse than I am now. At times when I can only be anxious, I seek a reason for my anxiety. And when I am at my best, I use exercise to relabel my energy. When I can only feel sad, I seek a source for my sadness. At its worst, this involves laying in my bed, listless, for hours at a time, imagining the world after I'm gone. But it can also be productive, self-reflective even. I can watch a sad movie. I can write. When I am able to find interest in my life in spite of everything, that is no small feat. And when I cannot, perhaps I can sleep, and in it find some of the nothingness that is a balm to my ever-worrying soul. The only certainty of life is change, and if that doesn't exactly fill me with hope, it is still something worth holding on to. Thank you.